They just sit on their asses and hope things settle
always go
themselves.
too easy on the skin.
The prodigy, huh? Apparently we owe you for the shards of this sigil stone. I didn't think I would ever say this, but thank you.
Wings.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
This is too dangerous, whatever they want here. If we send spies and they get caught, Nehrim will see this as a provocation.
Poor, poor people. All they did was invade a foreign country, and look how ruthless we are, sending spies in order to find out why they're here. We should be ashamed.
Save the sarcasm. We both know what I mean. You know my opinion, Tila.
I will consider it. You come at the right time, Prophetess. Commander, explain the situation.
Of course, Grandmaster. Yesterday, we received word from one of our outposts in Duneville. One of the fishermen there saw warships anchoring on an island some miles from shore. And they bear the Nehrimese flag.
We have already sent scouts to confirm this, and it is true. The Nehrimese have invaded our land. We have a suspicion. I suppose you know that the civil war in Nehrim has ended 2 months ago. And who won it? The combined forces of the Northern and the Middle Realm, led by Taranor Korek of Kabait. The Southern rebels and the remnants of the Creator's Temple have been destroyed, once and for all. Now Nehrim has been united under the banner of the Free People of Nehrim, how they like to call themselves. And this could be the reason for these warships. Because of this Korek.
It is said that he helped Narathzul Aranthiel shortly before the Lightborn were slain. And while before that, he was an opportunist who changed his ideals as often as his underpants. It seems that his crusade with Narathzul converted him, so to speak. He has become a declared enemy of religion.
He also thinks of the death of the gods as the first step of many. And now he sees it his task to rid Vin of religion once and for all. Free the world from the scourge of faith. These are his words.
Though it is worth mentioning that his understanding of freeing includes mass executions and the burning down of temples. He's a fanatic, and worse, his men worship him for it. What he wants is to found a new world, and his free people of Nehrim are supposed to be vanguard of it. Not much. Or... yes, there is. He's a narcissist. I was surprised to hear that the banners of his free people aren't ornamented with a picture of his and an inscription saying, "Praise me." Correct.
What Korek doesn't understand is that we're doing this to prevent a crisis. Not before the High Ones have been stopped. The civil war on Kile, Nehrim, and Arazial shows what chaos such a revelation can cause. And we will not take this risk. That is the problem. Pegast?
We believe that Korek already knows about the cycle and the cleansing. And that he, how should I put it, wants it to happen. I'm afraid so. I know how strange this sounds, but in a way it makes sense. For him, Enderal as the home of the Holy Order is the epitome of ignorance and stagnation. And we suppose he even knows that we are fighting these High Ones. But in his eyes, everything a paragon of the Old Order tries to prevent from happening must be something good. Maybe he even sees the High Ones as prophets of his new era. Who knows? Fanatics are unpredictable.
Right now, this is only an assumption, but we have to know. Yes. Do you know what a silver plate is? Good. Then you know that they possess the power to transfer sound from one plate to the other. Our plan is to place 2 of the plates in their camp. That way we can sound them out without risk. You, Firespark, and the mercenary, Dalvarek. However, you cannot travel to the island by ship. That would be too conspicuous.
We found out that the Pyreans had some kind of underground transporting system. Undertrains, that's what they called them. These trains connected the most important regions of the realm with each other, and thus probably also the temple on the island where Korek's ships set anchor. If we can manage to find one of these trains, we could use them to get right to his camp. And, as it happens, we have information about a Pyrean temple in the Crystal Forest. One that is still intact enough for us to find a way into one of these trains.
The Living Temple.
That's how you call it, yes. But enough of the chit-chat. First of all, we need to find the gem that is used to open the gate of the temple. And I have a guess where we could find it. A village called Fogville, not far from the Whisperwood. As soon as possible. Joseph the mercenary has already traveled to Fogville, and you should do the same. I will meet you there.
So we are talking about accomplished facts, or what?
It is the only way. I'm sorry, Natara. Prophetess, I'm counting on you. Find out why Korek is here.
Walk blessed.
That's beyond me. Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Remind me not to burst into tears.
Huh?
Blasted blistering blazes! What the heck took you so long? We've been waiting for ages.
But you only just...
What matters now is that we find the gem that opens the temple doors. You two take care of that. I'll go ahead to the temple and inspect the gate. Any questions? No? Then beat it.
It helps to know what something looks like if you're supposed to find it. At least that's what I've been told.
I already told you that. A small, red gem. If it's around here somewhere, and I'm quite certain it is, you should maybe search for it at the village treasury. Now get going. I'll see you at the temple.
Huh? About Fogville? Yeah, quite a lot actually. This story's always fascinated me. You haven't heard of it, I take it. What do you want to know? Yeah, and that's about what happened. How can I say this without going beyond the scope? The short version, the villagers lost their minds. It all started when they officially renounced Malphas and the righteous path. Then, more and more travelers started disappearing, and surprisingly, a lot of their corpses were found close to the village, dumped in the forest like slaughtered cattle. That was when the Order couldn't ignore this issue any longer and sent a division of guards to end the madness, whatever that's supposed to look like. But when these guards arrived, they were greeted by frenzied villagers, who were armed to the teeth and jumped on the guards like rabid dogs. Most of them were killed, but one made it back to the temple. Well, and that's almost the end of the story. When the guards returned, they were almost the size of an army, but still the villagers charged right at them. You can imagine the result. Yes, it was. It turned out they sacrificed them. Later, when the Order searched Fogville for what could have caused all this, they found a hidden hexagonal room in the temple, which looked like the Fogvillers built it themselves. It was strange. There were exactly 6 paintings, one on each wall, and they all depicted unholy scenes, whatever that may mean. Anyway, it seemed that the travelers were sacrificed there. Heck knows why. As I said, they were mad, and this is also how they fought, regardless of the consequences. Plus, this place isn't exactly easily charged. Just look at all the walls. It's almost a fortress. Well, the most common one is the proximity to the Whisperwood. We all know what these spores do to the human mind. So maybe unfavorable winds over several moons? Who knows? At least that's the official explanation. Some conspiracy theorists see a connection to the Butcher of Ark. Exactly. Strange guy, to say the least. You know, shortly before he killed himself, he left an autobiography. And even though the Order officially forbids owning it, there are collectors who established an entire cult around that Tannerson character. There's a lot of speculation going on about this entire myth, and some of it's quite bizarre and morbid, if you ask me. Anyway. Keep your chin up. That was quick. Any luck? Let me see. Yeah, that's it. Well, then I guess that means off to the temple. You ready? Yeah, I did. Why do you ask? Keep your chin up. Ready to go? Wonderful. And here. I found this in one of the houses. I thought it might be useful. Go ahead then. I'll follow your lead. Can't sing.
fucking scum! You'll pay for that!
Way too easy. up yet? As you wish. And that's it. The Crystal Forest. Beautiful, isn't it? The temple should just be a few miles up the hill. Oh, it's an old legend. Apparently this temple has some kind of consciousness, so to speak. That's also the reason for the weird vegetation around here. Yep.
Well, well, that was quicker than expected. Did you find the gem? Show me. Well, I'll be damned, that's the one. Then I suppose it's time for me to tell you some things about the temple. Maybe you've already heard the Enderalian legend about this place. It's said that this temple is alive, and that the entire forest is some kind of sensory organ of it. Heareth his whispers, sung from the trees, dreadeth his gaze, blah blah blah, you get the idea. Though most folk legends are superstitious nonsense, this one has a true core. The temple does indeed have a consciousness of some sort. That has, however, less to do with some suicidal lover's tragic fates, but with a Pyrean defense mechanism. The Stone Heart. It works because the Pyreans found a way to conjoin something immaterial with a human soul. That doesn't need to be a building like it is here. It can also be a sword or an amulet. The Bound Ones, as those whose consciousness was transferred were called, suffered atrocious pain during the ritual, but when it worked, they practically achieved immortality.
Well, that's consoling.
It's a terrible fate, yes, but we all know that with the right religious blathering, humans can be convinced to do just about anything. However, don't get the wrong idea. These bindings were unusual. Not every Pyrean had a relative living in his frying pan, so to speak. Only a very few arcanists, mainly those of the Ishian caste, were able to perform them. In other words, bound places or objects were extremely rare. This temple is one of them. I doubt that it's resting, witnessing the downfall of one's own civilization, and since then being forced to hang around in an extinct world hardly has a positive effect on one's sanity. But we'll see. Go ahead, put the gem in the socket over there. Perfect. Then let's go, and keep your weapons ready. The Undertrain will be the lowest level of the temple, at least if Lushishi's theories are true.
One question, Meister Firespark. Why me?
Why what?
This is the third time that you've hired me, and my pay isn't exactly humble. Why?
What do you want to hear? A love song? You're a drunkard and a scrounger, but you do your work and you do it good. The day I put my faith in one of these god's lambs will be the day I dance naked through the upper city, singing hymns of praise to the Lightborn.
I'd like to see that.
I'm sure you would. Now shut your mouth. Our entrance was everything but subtle, but we at least don't have to shout at this temple in the face, where it has to trigger the next trap.
Keep your chin up.
Blistering blazes. Does this I told you. Junction. Seems that we have to... Ah, wait a moment. There's something written here. Chuijara nem Yoresa nem Gandila Bayara. Interesting.
Yes?
I'm translating. Lashery could do a better job with that. Age takes its toll, I suppose, but... I think that means something like... The warrior, the wise man, and the dark one together wield the light. Ah, and look at the inscription above the doorways. Chuijara, Hjoresa, Gandila. The warrior, the wise man, and the dark one.
Sounds to me that there's something we need at the end of each of these tunnels to go further. To the light, whatever that is.
Brilliant deduction. That means we have to split up. Do you see the pressure plates in front of the doors? To me, it looks as if each of us has to stand on one to open the gates. I should take the path of the wise man. What about you, Joseph?
The warrior?
Good. That leaves you the path of the Dark One. Off we go, then. We'll meet again at the light. Come on, step on the pressure plates.
My door's open. Constantine?
Mine too. Then let's go.
There you are. I was starting to get worried. Where is Bushybeard, though? Have you seen him somewhere? A scream. But wait. Do you hear that? That's his voice. He got here before we did, but he didn't wait. Why the heck would he do that? Not really, no. Come on, let's take a look.
Shijara nem lohem shiraz gradually.
What the heck? Hello? Master Firespark.
Then shohen. Shijara nem jogen. Vetu, 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 vetu. Shijara nem lohem shiraz. She showed me. She showed me. She showed me all. She see the temple. She let me look through the window of time, and I saw it. All of it. The high ones, the light, the burnt flesh everywhere. Yes, because of the light. It burns us from within. I saw them, men, women and children. They were ablaze like the sun. So bright. And, oh, why did you show me? Why? No one should have to see something like that. No one. Yes? And they're with us here and now, everywhere and always. And no matter what we do, we can't hide. Do you understand? We can't.
Meister, you're not yourself. Just calm down and we can...
No, stay away from me. You don't understand. You can't understand. She's so sad. So sad and so full of wrath because we chose to close our eyes rather than see. Because we refuse to understand.
Understand what? You're not making any sense.
That it's us. We are sin. Don't you see? And there's only one way to end it.
What? No! Put that away! This is madness!
Madness? What we do is madness. This is the only way to break the cycle. One glance was enough to understand her suffering. To understand that there's no other solution than ultimate death. One day, you will understand that. You too, fleshless one. And now, we have to die. It won't change much. But maybe it will make her just a little happier. Forgive me. But why?
That was... What the heck? Why by the wise hermit would he do that? His eyes... I've never seen anything like that. You mean he was possessed? I don't know. I always thought the possessed have a red shimmer in their eyes when it gets bad. He didn't. What was that talk about making her happy? You mean the temple? My. This doesn't get better. We'll need to tell the Order about it. Now, let's push on. At least we should find this train. We owe Firespark that much. Yeah, you're right. Come on, let's find a shovel. Or something like that. What now? Such chaos. Can you hear that? Waves. Nature takes back what belongs to her. Let's hope the tunnels of this undertrain aren't flooded too. Wait, I know that smell. Stay here. Where did we find Yarrow's wife? Yarrow's companion. Where do we find her coffin? Please, just do me a favor and answer. Just do it. Then it really is you. Good question. Best you take a look for yourself. I'll wait here. So, any explanations? Illusion. Yes, of course. Created by this bloody temple. Or maybe even the Highlands. Yes, of course. That must be it. They're trying to confuse this. Otherwise, they'll do just about anything, won't they? This is just wrong. This is crazy. Well, working with you is definitely an experience, to say the least. We should push on, find that stupid train. I just want to get out of this place as quickly as possible. Bullseye. Seems like the water spared the train. It's beautiful in a way, don't you think? I bet every Arcanist would give his left hand just to get a look at it. And we're about to use it. Only thing left to do now is find out how. Seems to me that we first have to open this gate and reactivate the mechanism that powers this place. I'll take a look around. Try and find something that lets us open the gate. This is crazy. Just crazy. wonderful. Go on inside and take a seat, okay? I'll see if I can get the train running somehow. It can't be too hard. Ta-da! Yes, I'm amazing. I know that. If being a merc doesn't work out in the long run, maybe I'll ask the Order to hire me as an expert on Pyrean railways. But no guarantee this thing won't drive us right into the next abyss. Anyway, I guess even with this thing, it should be a while till we arrive. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Sorry for the drama back there at the house. I guess I just didn't know what to make of the situation. I figure all of this is just wrong. But I'm repeating myself. If the High Ones were planning to confuse us, they definitely succeeded. We really should tell the Grand Master about this, and about what happened to Constantine. Still, we can't allow this to get inside our heads too much. What matters right now is the mission. And at least it stays exciting. Two daring adventurers who have gotten themselves into something they don't even remotely understand are plundering ancient ruins in search of treasure. Don't laugh, but this reminds me a little of my past, of my childhood. Not the part including mysterious corpses and crazed mages, of course. My sister and I, when we were young, we always used to go exploring caves near our manor. Father always gave us a good scolding when he got wind of it, but of course that didn't keep us from doing it again. Right, because I never told you. Adila and I are not exactly close these days anyway, probably because we lost our bond somehow, after our father died. Yes, he did. Together with my siblings. Actually, Adila and I are the only surviving Delverics. All the others were murdered. No need to be. But I appreciate the thought, so thanks. In a sad way, a part of me is actually glad everything happened the way it did back then. It made me into a man, and it showed me what kind of characteristics have a tendency to drastically shorten one's life. Stubbornness. My father was a judge in the tribunal, you know. He was a hard man, who at least, after our mother died while giving birth to Adila, lived for only one thing. His principles. Justice knows no compromise. That was his great creed. No matter who stood before him in court, my father treated them all the same. Damien Delveric, the epitome of justice. Yes, an extreme attitude for an extreme man. One day, the son of a highly regarded Archer Sublime stood before the 12 judges of the court. Valenzio Duran. He had murdered 2 whores, made them happy, as he called it, and it was obvious that he didn't feel so much as a hint of remorse. You know those kind of people, the ones who think that money and power entitle them to anything they want. Of course you can. 11 of the 12 judges voted for a verdict of not guilty, because they knew Valenzio's father was influential within the Relata. Only my father, of course, remained unshaken. 1 week later, our manor was robbed by 4 masked men who killed everyone. Servants, guards, my 2 older brothers, all of them. Officially, they were bandits, who just happened to be running around with blades made of shadow steel. My sister and I only survived because we had snuck out for one of our expeditions. Ironic, isn't it? Horrible? None of this is horrible. It was the only logical consequence of my father's actions. And what good did it do in the end? None. As we speak, Valenzio's enjoying himself in some brothel, with 2 whores and a bowl of grapes. But you see, there's no point in being angry about this. And do you know why? Because this is just how the world works. There's no divine justice, no system through which it's decided who lives and who dies. There are decisions and there are consequences. That's it. This is also why there's absolutely no point in fighting for ideals, the greater good, or whatever else you want to call it. First of all, because no one will thank you for it, and second, because people are stupid. That's the one universal rule that there is to this world, no matter how much you try to accomplish something. In the end, stupid people will destroy all you've achieved, with no more than a snap of their fingers. Fight for the moment, and the moment only. Because unlike everything else, you can be certain of its truth. No. But if he had wanted Valencio to die so badly, there would have been other ways. Poison, an accident, a hired killer. Just a hint of common sense. That's all he would have needed. But of course, none of that would have conformed to his sacred principles. Adela and I were still young when all this happened. A friendly family took us in, and my sister joined the Order of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But since then, we haven't been able to speak to one another. She raised a wall of ice around herself, so to speak, and fled into old family books and memories. But anyway, enough about me. You're an orphan too, aren't you? How come? You never told me about that. You told me that the Creator's temple in Ostian had something to do with it, but what exactly happened? Dreams. Yeah. I've had my share of nightmares too. There was this one that plagued me for years. I'd be in some kind of hall, almost like a temple. Only that there were benches and aisles, like in a courtroom. My father sat on the judge's dais, but he was a corpse, and all the spectators and the jury looked like him. Anyway, there was this grotesque trial scene where he accused me of refusing to do my duty for them, and it always ended with his skin melting off like hot wax. Pretty messed up, I know. Eventually, the dream stopped, though. Someone helped me with that. But anyway, enough of this gloomy talk for now. We should get some rest. We've still got a long ride ahead of us. I don't say this often, but I like working with you. You're okay. You really are. Good night. Rise and shine, fair lady. We have arrived. How'd you sleep? Well, for what it's worth, neither can I. Come on, let's take a look outside. Seems someone has prepared a welcome for us.
Enemies, watch out.
What? Haven't had enough yet? As you wish.